Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy JNark, aka Crystal World, and today we are doing vid number 6, I believe, in the rebuild series. Or not the rebuild series, but the draft order, where we just do a realistic rebuild. And right now we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Last video was the Bengals. Sorry for the hiatus, but we got the Eagles to work with, and honestly, all these guys here we're gonna let walk. Actually, nah. Will they do that in real life? Nah. They wouldn't do that in real life. But one thing we do have to do is trade away Carson Wentz to the Colts, even though he'll be a huge cap hit for us. But it's something we're going to have to do. Can we re-sign Michael Coleman? No, we cannot. So, there's no point in us keeping any of these guys. So we're going to have to just advance to next week because our cap, we don't have any cap to make any moves. So first and foremost, we got to trade away. Carson Wentz, because he did get traded to the Colts. We sent him to the Colts, and I think I would go with their picks, but I don't even know if that was the right thing that they did. So we give them around 2 and a 3. Trial was accepted, so we just got rid of Carson Wentz, sent him to the Colts. So Jalen Hurts is our starter now, and we have negative money in cap space. We have negative 26 mil in cap space. So I don't know what other moves we could possibly make because this team's gonna be looking pretty rough. So I guess all we could really do is rebuild through the draft. So first and foremost, or we could just cut some players. Realistically, like, we can't cut this guy, we can't cut him. I mean, I'm thinking we should also just keep the team the way how it is. But what we could do is cut someone like Brandon Graham, because we do have other DN positions, but I think nonetheless we should just keep them around. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna skip past free agency and just rebuild through the draft. Okay, so as we're scouting through these players, we're looking to see okay, dude. I freaking hate when they just keep talking, honestly. So we have the 6th pick in the draft, and it's very interesting to see what players we could actually end up drafting. But nonetheless, we're gonna look at these players here. So we got those players. We're going to actually scout every single week, as we can't do anything free agency. We're going to keep scouting and seeing what we could get with our picks. So quarterback, we have Jalen Hurts. He's the future, of course. We have running backs, of course, that we could also take a look at, because we have we have Miles Sanders, who probably will need to be on our team nonetheless. But we're going to look at some second-round receivers to see what could also help us as well, because we're going to need to look at them, because we have receiver core is not looking too good. I'm going to scout one more time before the draft. And then we got someone like Micah Parsons, Devonta Smith, Heisman winner, early first-rounder. Pretty nice to see. I feel like we would need a corner, so maybe in the 3rd round we go for a corner. Asante Samuel, Israel Mukamu, late 4th rounder, not too bad. Then we have Trevon Moehrig, who's pretty good actually. Trevon Moehrig's pretty good, so we're gonna advance to the next week. So draft time is here. Let's take a look at the team, see what we need to pick up. Jalen Hurts is our starter. Receiver core definitely needs an upgrade as well. Tight end, we need lots of positions taken care of. We need lots of positions. So we're gonna try to draft the best player available, and then hopefully hope that we can make more moves. But let's start the draft. Okay, so we have the 6th pick in the draft. The Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence. Jets select Jamar Chase. So they actually didn't go quarterback. The Dolphins select Penei Sewell. They went offensive lineman. The Falcons select Micah Parsons, and the Bengals select Rashawn Slater, offensive lineman. Wow. So they picked Rashawn Slater, so we get to pick the best player available. So now we obviously have some glaring needs, like the offensive line position, and I feel like that should be our target. But we need a receiver. We need a receiver that we feel like would do well. I want to look at what receivers are available. These are the receivers that are available. These are all the positions that are available. I feel like Kyle Pitts wouldn't be too bad of a tight end to pick up for the team. to pair up with Dallas Goedert, but I feel like if there's other tight ends, we could definitely draft like Brevin Jordan or something. But we have Dallas Goedert, so we don't really have to go too crazy with getting that. So, I didn't want to go receiver. So what I could see the Eagles doing is trading back in the draft. Like, okay, so we're gonna trade back with the Lions. They went up a pick. They wanted to get their next guy. They got Devonta Smith, wide receiver, so they replaced Kenny Galladay. So we're still sitting here trying to figure out what would be the best player available. We don't want to get a quarterback, but I feel like getting a DN maybe could help out. So I feel like getting someone like Gregory Rousseau would be the move that they make as they plan on revamping, trying to help the defense. So I feel like that should work. So we still have Rondale Moore, who's sitting here. He's projected mid-second rounder. I think we could still go for him. But what we're going to do, we're going to go with drafting left tackle Alex Leatherwood. Be the future for us. And we have another pick at pick 22. Rondale Moore just got selected. That's tough on us. But we could go with getting a running back in Javonte Williams, who's a power back. He's projected early first rounder. So we get him. He's ranked number 7 in true value. So we just picked up Javonte Williams to help out the running back situation. Now that we have this pick in the draft, there's only one corner here, and is Israel Mukamlu. And these are the players that are available. Did we end up drafting a receiver? I don't think we did. So I feel like what the Eagles would do, real life, would draft the best receiver available. So Terrace Marshall, deep threat, a good receiver to add to the crew. And then with our next pick, if available, we're going to draft, okay, so that corner we were looking at is now gone. So we drafted a receiver, but now we need to go for a corner just to add depth onto the team. And Paulson Adebo, Stanford corner, probably do all right just for us. And then we also have another position to take a look at, but nonetheless, we have more positions nonetheless that we could fill up. Like, I wouldn't want to draft a quarterback this early, so I feel like drafting a tight end would be a good bet for us as well. But we could go with getting a guard like Ben Cleveland, or we could just let the simulation figure out the rest and see what else goes on. So I think that's what we're going to do. So let's look at the draft recap, see what players that we ended up getting. We got Gregory Rousseau, Alex Leatherwood. We got a running back, a receiver, corner, safety, 2 safeties, another receiver, a fullback, and a left outside linebacker, and Chris Rumpf. So we made quite a lot of selections in the draft, but nonetheless, we should be looking pretty decent. I mean, we have a rookie, Jordan Mailata. Oh, I didn't realize that we had all these tackles. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize we had all these tackles available. So, it's very interesting to see. But what so we got a rookie, free safety. We have a lot of depth on the team, I'll say. We got a lot of depth on the team. But what I want to do is maybe stick with this team for this season. But I want to put Alex Leatherwood as a starter. So what we're going to do, we're not even going to adjust the team. We're going to sim to the playoffs and see how we do. All right, so obviously we didn't make the playoffs. We ended up going 5-11, which was second in our division, which is pretty sad if you think about it. Our division went pretty awful. But nonetheless, we team was a 79 offense and a 76 defense. Let's take a look at our stats. We are at a 26 offense, and our defense was 13th. So we didn't have that bad of a defense. Jalen Hurts had 23 touchdowns and 13 picks and 87 passer rating in his first year as full starter. Javonte Williams had more carries and yards than Miles Sanders, which is very interesting to see. Receiving, Jalen Reagor had 932 yards, 7 TDs, and Terrace Marshall had 865 yards and 3 TDs. And Dallas Goedert actually was pretty active as well. Defense, though, this is where it gets pretty interesting. Brandon Graham had 8 sacks, along with Gregory Rousseau had 8 sacks. That's pretty nice to see. And then Derek Barnett didn't really do too much. We had a lot of interceptions, which is pretty nice to see. 5 picks for Darius Slay, but it seems like Derek Barnett didn't do anything. So that's kind of disappointing. But we're gonna send him to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is Saints Texans. One team I forgot to take a look at was the Colts and see how well they did with having Carson Wentz. He had 34 touchdowns, 12 picks. Okay. Jack Doyle had 1,000 yards, and the Colts signed Corey Davis and Sammy Watkins. Very interesting to see. So I wonder if they made the playoffs. I wonder if they made the playoffs with having what's his name over there. Colts went 11-5, so they did make the playoffs. Very, very nice to see. Okay, so Carson Wentz was the change over there. That's good for them. Since we did have a negative record, let's look at the playoff bracket. Colts were the 2nd seed, wow. And the Texans were the 7th, and they went all the way to the playoffs. That's crazy. So, Saints, Texans. Let's see what I can do here. We're obviously not looking for a quarterback. What I think we should take a look at is like the guard position, see what is available for us. Because we're really going to focus on like the first 2-3 rounds. Like Deontay Walls is an early 3rd rounder, pretty good center. And we also have Tyler McQueen, which wouldn't be too bad. Right guard, Jerry Roth, not going to do too much for us there though. And then the right tackle position, mid-2nd rounder, Rayshawn Farmer. Nothing going on there. Left end, I feel like we still need to address the DN position because Brandon Graham is 34 now, and he only had 8 sacks, which isn't good. But D tackle though, we got Dexter Joseph, who's pretty solid. We also have Bryce Jeffers. And then Vince Harris here, power rusher, early 1st rounder, looking pretty solid. So we're going to have to go through the re-sign period. Let's see. So Saints won the Super Bowl. We have 22 players ready to negotiate. Jason Kelce, star center, but I think we're going to let him walk. He's 34, he's old. We also have Dallas Goedert. We have some cap space now. So re-signing Dallas Goedert wouldn't be too bad for us. So we'll re-sign Dallas Goedert to a deal. So we got our star tight end back. Brandon Graham, like I said, we're going to let walk. Avonte Maddox, it's pretty solid, I'd say. So we're going to keep him on the team. Then Derek Barnett, who didn't really do much for us. He didn't really do much, so we're going to honestly let him walk. But I want to keep him around Josh Sweat, though. I feel like he'll be a great backup on the D-line. Travis Fulgham, we're going to let him walk. Jordan Mailata actually played pretty solid. But I want to develop Alex Leatherwood. So, and we're going to give Kevon Seymour a deal, but he didn't want to. Hakeem Butler. Okay, all these guys here are just 60s and lower, so we're not really too worried about them. But I feel like Jordan Mailata, he has a star potential at left tackle. That's kind of interesting. He's only 25. He wouldn't be much of a cap hit, but we have, okay, first off, I want to see the roster. I want to see the team that we're working with. I want to see what overalls everyone is because we did draft Alex Leatherwood, and I do want to develop him because why not? And let's see, Alex Leatherwood. Oh, he has normal development. Okay, so he has normal development, so we'll just keep him around as just a depth player. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna let's see, give Jordan Mailata a deal. Hopefully boost up his confidence. So we get him back. And TJ Edwards as a backup. Not asking for too much. We get him back on the team as well. And then Jason Kelce, he wants a 1-year deal worth $11 million. If he doesn't accept this, that's fine. But he thinks free agency will be better for him. We're going to franchise tag Jason Kelce so he has 1 more season with us. So we have that center position solidified. And so now we're going to advance into the first week of free agency. Now that we have an 81 offense and a 77 defense, we have some positions to address, of course. And nonetheless, I feel like we can really upgrade this squad. And obviously we need Jalen Hurts to step his game up, but the only way to do that is by helping him. So we have $30 million available in cap. JJ Watt's a free agent. Quarterback, we need a backup. We're going to go Ryan Fitz. We're going to give Ryan Fitz a deal. Give Ryan Fitz a deal so we have that ultimate backup ready for us. Receiver, we do need a #1 receiver, and we have a bunch of young guys who are all 23 and above, but We need that guy. We need that person that's gonna really take over at that position. And I think we need a number 2 tight end to help out with the getting some receptions in that. So we're gonna get him. Left guard, you have Isaac Mello. I think we're alright with that. Center, I want to draft that center I was looking at. Right guard, we have Brandon Brooks. I would want to go for Wyatt Teller because he's younger, but for right now, we're going to just leave it alone. Left end, we don't have anyone at the left end position. What we're going to do, we're going to sign Derek Wolfe to a deal. He's asking for $7 million though. And then BJ Hill's asking for quite a bit, so we'll probably have to end up going with a left end in the first pick in the draft, because these guys are asking for a lot, honestly. Vinny Curry, former Eagle, signed him to a deal. D tackle is pretty solid right now. Right end, we have Gregory Rousseau and Josh Sweat. Left outside linebacker, we don't have much there. We just have Charles Rumpf. So we could see if we can sign Leon Jacobs to the deal to help out the squad. We don't have any middle linebackers, but Chris Barnes is a Packers middle linebacker. He could fit the scheme, so it could be our future middle linebacker that could help us out. And then we could also sign Micah Kaiser to a deal. Hopefully that could help us out as well. Right outside we have Davion Taylor. Cornerbacks are alright. Safety position doesn't need a little bit of an upgrade. So if we could get Ronnie Harrison Jr. to a deal, I wouldn't be too bad. I think that'd be a great free agency addition to the squad. So we try to sign those guys. Let's advance to the next week. So we got Fitz, Chris Barnes. So we got the middle linebackers positions. So we got a lot of positions taken care of. So we're going to scout some players because we do need to upgrade the D-line a lot. A lot. We got James Sweat. We got Cordell Spiller, cornerback, mid-first rounder. DN position needs to get taken a look at. Left end, we have Austin Ellis and the other kid there, Brandon Boston. We also have Greg Ragland, who's a mid-first rounder. Not too bad. And then we also got Vinny Curry to accept the deal with us. So we got that backup, which is pretty nice. So we only have $2 million available in cap. So nonetheless, we're just going to leave that alone. But we're going to still look to see if we can find a receiver, because we still need that true number 1 receiver for our boy Jalen Hurts. So Landry Brown, Benji McNeil. Okay, so for the next week, which will be the last week, I want to see if we could scout some. No, I'm not making any offers. So let's advance to next week. I want to see if we can make an offer to or that we could scout a corner so we can draft in the 2nd round possibly. A corner, yeah. So like Devontae Mobley, he looks pretty good. Matt Carter, late 1st rounder. Then we also have Travis Davis, mid-6th. Devontae Hayden, late 1st, and Thomas Pettis, mid-3rd rounder. So those are those positions. So advance to the next week, we're gonna start the NFL draft. Let's start drafting. So we have the 3rd pick in the draft. So we're obviously gonna go with the James Sweat went to the Giants. So we have the 3rd pick in the draft. We're obviously gonna go with the best player available, and let's go by scouted. Antoine Hartwell is an early 1st rounder. Cordell Spiller is an early 1st rounder. Jeremiah Bolden is a mid-1st rounder. Trent Lynch is a late 1st rounder. Devontae Mobley is an early 1st round corner. I think we're gonna go with him. He's number 5 in true value, drafted him at number 3. So we actually ended up going with a corner, but nonetheless, that should be fun. We helped out with the secondary. Now we should try to attack the D-line position. Devontae Hayden's here as well. He's a late 1st rounder. Tyler McQueen, center. We're gonna draft him. He will be the true backup to our guy, Jason Kelsey. After this will be his 1 and only year. Let's take a draft recap. See what the team drafted. We got a tight end, a middle linebacker, a receiver, a left outside linebacker, a middle linebacker, and then a right end. So we didn't get much that I thought we would, but we ended up going for a corner. We ended up addressing other positions on the team that I felt like we needed to do. So, and Josh Sweat could rotate, so I don't think that's too bad. And so we have our future center, and our tight ends are good. We didn't really address the receiver position, but we're gonna give them a try. See if then year 2 with this team they could help out. Defense, we have Chris Barnes leading the pack, so that's not too bad. And the D-line is pretty solid, I'd say. Pretty solid, not the greatest, but we have a pretty solid looking team, as we have Paulson Adebo and Mobley, corners that we're going to work with here. And we ended up signing Ronnie Harrison Jr. so to help out in the backfield. So nonetheless, let's into the playoffs and see how we do. So guys, we actually made the playoffs. We went 10-6, won the division, while the Giants, Eagles, and Washington football team all went 8-8. That's a shock. Our offense was 19th in the NFL, while our defense was 6th. We had a 6th ranked defense. Jalen Hurts had 28 touchdowns, 12 picks. Miles Sanders had 942 yards, 3 TDs, while Javonte Williams had 9 TDs and 591 yards. Wap Filior had 8 TDs and 866 yards. We need a number 1 receiver because these guys are not cutting it out. But Chris Barnes had 5 picks, 2.5 sacks, and led the team in tackles, which is pretty nice. Fletcher Cox had 8 sacks, while Greg Rousseau had 6. And we got a good amount of interceptions. So I'm very surprised that we made the playoffs, if I'm going to be honest. If I'm going to be really honest, I'm very surprised we made the playoffs. Because I didn't think it would be that quick. But we were the 2nd seed in the NFL. We're going 10-6. So that means it was a very sorry year all around. It had to be. If we were the 2nd seed in the NFC, that means this year was very sorry. Ravens went 12-4, Falcons went 12-4, Browns went 11-5, we went 10-6, and every other team. Okay, so I guess it was a very win-packed year because one team, there wasn't no team that got lower than 3 wins. So it was probably a pretty balanced season. But nonetheless, let's look at the team. Let's look at the team that made it. This is the offensive line. Pretty solid, I'd say. Jalen Reagor is now 78. We got all these good receivers here. Jalen Hurts is now a 77, which is pretty nice. Defense, D-line looking pretty solid, I'd say. Mobley, superstar corner, and he's a backup, so he'll do pretty nice. So our defense is looking. We got some gems. We got some gems on the defense, which I'm pretty nice. I'm pretty happy about, so I should say. But our first game is against the Vikings, and we took an L 38-10. Okay, we took an L 38-10. Our contract got extended. We got our ass whooped though. I'm kind of shocked that we got our ass whooped like that. Why did we get our ass whooped like that? I want to see. Damn, Jalen Hurts sold. 1 TD, 2 picks, got sacked once. Damn. And the run defense. Oh man. Okay, I mean, okay. So since we made the playoffs, I'm pretty happy with that. But what I want to do now. Is just address the actually let's see who made the Pro Bowl. Zach Wilson. Nobody from the Eagles I see. I wanted to get that Triumph guy from that draft, but I didn't. So it comes back to bite me in the butt. But Fletcher Cox made the Pro Bowl. None of our corners or safeties made it interesting. But we got Browns, Falcons in the Super Bowl. And let's review the yearly awards. Deshaun Watson won MVP. We're not even going to focus on getting anyone in the draft. We're just going to focus on like re-signing players. So Browns won the Super Bowl. And I want to see the season recap. So MVP went to Deshaun. Coach of the Year went to John Harbaugh. Offensive Player of the Year went to Zach Wilson, who's on the Bears. Defensive Player of the Year went to Leighton Vander Esch. Kyle Walker won Rookie of the Year for offense. And Jeremiah Bolden won Defensive Rookie of the Year. We have 9 players ready to negotiate. We're going to let Fletcher Cox walk, obviously, even though he's pretty good, and he's a 95 overall. We have a $20 million cap hit, but he's already 32 as well. And Javon Hargrave, we're going to have to let him walk. Left guard, Isaac Sumalo. It's not too bad, honestly. Give him a deal. Andre Dillard, we don't need him. Vinny Curry, we're going to let walk, and Craig James, we're going to let walk as well. But I could sign him. He'd be a special teams ace, and he's a veteran, so everyone likes him on the team. So that's what we do. We're going to let Andre Dillard walk. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside hasn't done much to prove that he wants to be on the team. Miles Sanders, we're going to let walk as we have Javonte Williams. And then we're saying goodbye to Jason Kelsey. And we could keep Fletcher Cox, but I think we're just going to focus on rebuilding, getting more players, signing players in the offseason. So we have about almost $80 million available in cap. So a move we're going to make, as you guys can see, freaking Nick Bosa is available. So what I'm going to do here is sign a running back. We're going to sign Jamal Williams to a deal. He's gonna back up. Wow, Jamal Williams actually looks like himself. He's gonna back up Javonte Williams. We have fullback, which is okay. We need a #1 receiver, but there's still not a good receiver here sitting in free agency. Left tackle, we're gonna keep Jordan Mailata. Left guard, it's the same. Center, we could sign Rodney Hudson to a deal, but it'd be the same thing nonetheless. It'll be the same thing. So we're just gonna keep McQueen here and sign Trey Hopkins to be that backup for us. We're gonna run with that young center. Right guard, we're gonna need someone. We're gonna definitely need someone. David DeCastro. See if you want to run it with us. We're gonna give you a great deal here. Still not enough. So we're gonna end up going with like Gabe Jackson. Gabe Jackson gives us potential. And at right tackle we have Lane Johnson, so that's fine. Left end is a position that we don't have anyone good at, so I think we're gonna give Max Crosby a stellar deal here. We're gonna give Max Crosby a stellar deal. D tackle Matthew Ioannidis, we're gonna give you a great deal as well. And then we're also gonna sign Tim Settle. We're gonna sign a bunch of D linemen to help out with this interior crew. We're signing 3 D tackles in free agency. That's what we're doing. That's what we're attacking. And we have Gregory Rousseau still. And then left outside linebacker, we have Leon Jacobs, who's just gonna sit there. Middle linebacker, I'm okay with. Right outside linebacker, we could sign Quan Alexander. It'll be a cap hit though, so we're gonna take a look at that one more time. Free safety is good. Strong safety is good. We signed Ronnie Harrison back then, so we're gonna give a huge deal to. I wish we didn't have to do Quan Alexander, but maybe he could provide that veteran leadership, and maybe he's healthy for the season. So hopefully that works out for us. If we could sign all these guys we tried, then that works out well. So we got Max Crosby, Quan, Gabe, Tim Settle, Jamal Williams. We didn't get every single D tackle yet, but we got one. Let's see if we get Matthew Ioannidis. Tristan Hill and Matthew Ioannidis, so we just got the D line. Okay, we're Gucci now. And then we should have gotten one more player, but we didn't. So now we're gonna go advance to the draft. We're gonna simulate it this time because we didn't scout anyone. We're gonna see what the team picks up. Now let's look at the draft recap. See what we drafted. We got a receiver, Shamir Jones, 65 overall. Strong safety, Lamar McKinney, 73. D tackle, Josh Oliver. So pretty bad draft, I'd say. So okay, that's expected, right? So this is what the team looks like. Jalen Hurts is now 76. Javonte Williams is now our starter at 82. This is what the offensive line looks like. Kind of regressed, but still not too bad nonetheless. We got young guys here. And then D-line or defense, we just upgraded entirely. We signed like 4 guys. And now we just got a very interesting looking defense now. And we also got Quan to help out with the linebacker situation. But we need a receiver. We need a #1 receiver. And I feel like we'll have to sign Traquan Smith because we need some reliability. We need someone with great prowess as a receiver. And it just bothers me that our best receivers are just not even doing much. And we can't even get rid of Shamir Jones. Joe Stanford sitting here. John Hightower. Like, we have just a bunch of 70 receivers. So hopefully this can help out the crew. And hopefully Traquan Smith is a great addition to the squad. But nonetheless, see if we can run it back and make it to the playoffs. So from the looks of it, we ended up going 4-12 the following season. After going 10-6, we went 4-12. So Eagles, because of a pretty whack free agency, like no one got re-signed. Like everything just went back to how it was before. Offense was 25th, and then defense was 16th. Jalen Hurts had 29 touchdowns, 16 picks. Jalen Hurts has been the average quarterback for the most part, and Javonte Williams actually got injured, so we had Jamal Williams getting most of the reps. And none of our receivers did that well. We haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver, so it's pretty interesting to see how the season has gone. And we didn't get any takeaways on defense, any sacks. Our leader was Max Crosby with 5 sacks, so we didn't have any game changers, which is pretty sad to see. But nonetheless, that's just the rebuild with these guys. Oof, and Gabe Jackson got injured, and Lane Johnson got injured. Oof, but these receivers are in the 80s now. But I guess that's what we're gonna have to rock with here. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching the video. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Comment down below what other teams you want to see me rebuild. Actually, no, whatever teams you want to see me rebuild. I'm gonna rebuild another team. I'm gonna rebuild the next team after this. So hopefully, you guys, stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, you gotta be a fiend, succeed. Peace.